In the late 6th century, St Brothen chose this spot for his church. It was right on the shore and washed by the tides. Now, nothing of St Brothen's original church or the shoreline remains. In the early 19th century, an embankment was built along the estuary. What does remain, however, is a massively roofed medieval church that gently slopes down to its long-lost shore. The church is designated by CADOR as a Grade 1 listed building because it is a fine medieval church retaining much of exterior and interior interest. If you like the content, please like and subscribe. Later we will look inside the church and some of the graves, including the grave of the dead man that the church took to court. According to tradition, the first church was built on the site of a hermitage founded in the late 6th century by St Brothen, supposedly one of the 7 sons of the legendary Prince Helig ap Glanog. The stone church was built in the 13th century and re-roofed during renovation in the 15th century. The south porch and small bellcote were likely added in the 17th century. The church was thoroughly renovated in 1844, when new windows were installed in the nave. The renovation of 1870 had less of an impact on the building's appearance and primarily involved tiling the floor. The church was built on sloping ground at the base of a high hill, which is why its floor slopes east-west. Initially, the building consisted only of a rectangular nave and chancel, forming a single body approximately 20 meters long and 6 meters wide. Since the chancel was not architecturally distinct, the entire structure was covered by a common gable roof, supported by triangular gables on the east and west sides. The roof covering in the Middle Ages may have been slate or simple thatch. Entrances were located in the western part of the nave, in the north and south walls, where pointed portals were created with thin, vertically arranged voussoirs. Furthermore, the church facades were pierced with small, narrow lancet windows, arranged in a pyramidal triad in the eastern wall, perhaps modeled after Cistercian churches. Like the portals, the windows were constructed without the use of ashlars, using only carefully selected and worked materials, similar to those used for the walls. The arch-braced roof with cusped wind braces was cut from mountain oak in the late 15th century. This wonderful roof carries nearly 15,000 slates. Inside the church are old-fashioned box pews, some of which date from the 19th century restoration, while others were reconstructed at that time from 17th and 18th century box pews. The floor is tiled with red and black Victorian quarry tiles. Between the nave and the chancel is a rood screen, which like so many others has lost its loft, again in oak, with a central opening and 4 further openings on each side. Tree ring dating has shown that the wood used for making it came from trees felled between 1496 and 1506. There are a number of wall memorials dating from 1733 to 1940. The octagonal stone font dates from the 15th century and is in English Gothic Perpendicular style. Robert Roberts was a North Walian quarryman. His death on the 23rd of April 1888 resulted in a churchyard break-in by candlelight, an illicit burial, and the rise of a prime minister. All because he had one final wish, to be buried beside his daughter at St Brothen churchyard. The problem was Robert Roberts wasn't a member of the established Church of England. He was a nonconformist. A recent restriction on the churchyard meant that Roberts could not be buried beside his daughter. The vicar locked the churchyard gate. Enter a newly qualified local solicitor, David Lloyd George. Aged 25, he advised the family to defy Reverend Richard Jones. Together they broke open the gate and by candlelight they buried Roberts where he wished to lie. Reverend Richard Jones brought a complaint against the Roberts family for trespass, damage, and burying a corpse without proper authority. The case was hard found but Roberts and Lloyd George won. The verdict propelled Lloyd George to prominence. The rest, as they say, is history. David Lloyd George went on to become one of the most famous Liberal politicians in British history, a key figure in reform, laying the foundation for the welfare state. He was Prime Minister from 1916 to 1922.